As the Rising 100 program chair, I'm especially honored to introduce our Rising 100 mentees. These are young voices who are insightful and enthusiastic about Black history. I encourage everyone to listen actively and think critically as we explore Black history through their eyes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alonzo Duncan, and I am president of the 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire. Before we get started this evening, I'd like to say thank you and send out a warm welcome for everyone who decided to join us this evening. Tonight, we'll be featuring our mentees known as the Rising 100 as they prepare us and give us history. So stay tuned, get you a cool drink and some popcorn, and enjoy the show. At this time, I'll be introducing our legal counsel, Gentleman Keith Willis.
Good evening. My name is Keith Willis. I'm legal counsel for the 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire. Today, we are focusing our education committee and our youth. We're talking about Black history. Black history is very important because we have to be responsible for the backbone of our culture. Black history extends not only to the math, science, medicine, art, but it also extends to culture. It also extends to drama. We Black people have had a dramatic and very impactful presence here in America. And so we hope to introduce you to some persons that you don't know. Hope you have a great time. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, it's Martina Sellers. I am the proud Vice President of Programs and Community for the 100 Black Men. And do we have a program excited for you to see tonight with our Rising 100? So I hope you're ready. Come on, let's go check them out. We are so excited that you're joining us today. And these young men are going to be pouring out to you what Black history means to them. So without any further ado, we're so excited. Mr. Dillon, tell us about Black history and where it came from.
Okay. So when we look into Black history, we have to think a special figure. I'm thinking Dr. Carter G. Woodson, born in 1875 in Virginia to formerly enslaved parents and worked the coal mines. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't work no coal mine. That was too hard. But he earned a PhD in the University of Harvard, then became the second to get one after W.E. Du Bois. Founded the Association for Study of African American Life and History in 1915. Then a year later, in 1916, started the Journal of Negro History. Established Negro History Week in 1912. Then later became Negro History Month in 1976 after President Calvin Coolidge. He matters because Black history was largely ignored and misrepresented in mainstream education. So he made a book, The Miseducation of a Negro, in 1933. This documents the achievements of African Americans, promote historical scholarship, and encourage schools to include Black history in their curriculum. And the quote I brought up to him was, "Those who have no record of what their forebears have accomplished lose their inspiration, which comes from teaching the biography and history." This quote hits deep to me because it's basically saying that if you don't know where you come from, you're not going to have a compass or a map to guide you where you need to go.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Because when you think about it, it went from 1 week being called the Negro Week to the Negro History Week to now a whole month. Despite the fact we get the shortest month, but you know what? As far as I'm concerned, Black history is every day. And that's what it's about. So what I'm going to have the Rising do is share with us who you are, what grade or college you're in, and why Black history means so much to you today. Because I think we need to know, especially as we're passing on the torch and continuing the legacy about Black history, to know that we are leaving our future in good hands. Let's start off. Yes.
I'm Akai Chris. I'm a senior and I go to Merida Valley High School. I would say Black history means to me showing homage to Black figures and also honoring the contributions of hidden Black figures who often are brought up and are often kind of forgotten.
Yeah, that's good. Come on. Yes.
My name is Andrew Alexander. I'm a junior at Centennial High School. And for me, I would say Black history, it's something that we need to be taught every day. It's not only taught in a regular education system, it's normally looked over and replaced by white history that is common and we see in all history books. But if we use Black history, it shows how much Black history contributed to American history and that Black history is American history.
That's
and
good.
Without it, there is nothing.
All right.
All right, my name is Dylan Hawley. I'm a freshman at Chaffey College. I'm studying political science to hopefully become something big. I want to get my plans out.
You campaigned it already.
I want to get my plans out. But yeah, I think Black history means to me it is American history, like my boy said. It's something that is unforgettable. You know, the era of slavery, Jim Crow is something that we can't forget. Even mass incarceration or cutting mental health funding is just something that's ongoing. We're in the pursuit of justice. I believe Black history and justice goes along like hand in hand, because you can't have Black history without having justice for those millions of slaves that beaten, sexually assaulted, or anything of that nature. Wow. We can't forget about them. So a lot of their names are not even remembered in unmarked graves, but we can't forget about Black history.
I love it. I love it.
My name is Akili Thomas, and I go to Riverside City College. I'm majoring in business. And to me, Black history is kind of like our heritage, you know, where we come from, the essence of why we're here today.
Yeah.
And a little bit about what my brother over here was saying, the quote that he gave. We have to know where we come from in order to progress in life and to do better than our ancestors did. So.
I love that. Now let's talk. How much Black history is even taught today in school? Now I'm 2 weeks younger than Jesus. I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all laughing a little too hard. But how much Black history first has been taught in your schools, and how many Black teachers have you experienced in your high school and college journeys? Jump in. Go ahead.
Well, me personally, at Centennial High School, I'm in the Umoja program. It's a
Okay.
program that's focused on Black history, language, arts, and history. And before I was in Umoja, I was freshman year. It was language arts.
Right.
We normally go over like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and all that stuff.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
Done. That's mainly all Black
In
history.
2026.
2026, yes.
Mind blowing.
So, for a school that it's a time and place where the N-word is so common, like the history's not taught, it felt weird to see like, oh, this is all I have in my history.
Right.
So when I got to Umoja program, it was about 10th grade. We started picking up more. I learned more about Black history, where I come from.
Right.
That it was not just America that had slaves.
Right.
Across the whole continent, we had
That's right.
South America, Brazil, so we see a lot of Black people in Brazil with
Yeah.
Spanish names. The African diaspora was really vast. It was not just American. People aren't taught that. They think the slave just came to Southern America and that was it. We all just spread out there, but no, we're actually everywhere.
That's right. That's right. And it's surprising because when you really start to learn more about it, you realize that the slave ships actually stopped in South America and down there, and seeing that so many of us who speak Spanish, and we're just blown away. So it's not just about the English-speaking transatlantic Black folks, but it's all the Spanish-speaking and all that. But what else? Talk to us some more about what. Yeah, come on. I see you.
At my school, we don't really learn a lot about Black history. It was my junior year. We learned about world history.
Right.
No, I mean U.S. history.
Uh-huh.
And they talked a little about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the Black Panthers, but they only lasted about 1 week in like February, and then we didn't learn anything else about Black history. So I feel like it's really silenced in schools.
Yeah. What about on the collegiate level and when you were in the high school yourselves?
I mean, kind of the same thing, it was basically just Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Black Panthers, but for the most part, it was just, I had to do my own research and get my own facts and stuff like that, because they're not going to present those to me, what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just the basics. It's nothing deeper than, MLK was this, that, and the other, and that's it.
I love it.
Yeah, so man, we didn't really learn a lot about Black history. I mean, Jackie Robinson, MLK, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, a piece from MLK, the letter of a Birmingham jail.
Oh, yeah,
that's the only thing we really got deep into. We didn't really learn about. I mean, I took AP United States history. We learned a lot about Native American history,
right,
or things of that nature. But we forgot about the Black history, the transatlantic slave trade that you mentioned, like how Black people are in South America and whatnot, speaking Spanish. Brothers that are like us, but they don't think they're like us. Like the Cubans.
I know
He said Cuban. That was good.
Yeah. And they just like us, but they don't know their history. They know one side of the history of their nation, but they don't know where they actually come from. So, and to speak, I think we forgot about how many Black teachers we had. I only had one, and it was my senior year of high school.
Wow.
He was my business and finance teacher. Shout out to him. He taught me a lot about financial. That's why I started a Roth IRA. You guys need to get on that if you guys haven't. Yeah, max out every year. But Yeah, I've only had one black teacher, the only teacher that could really relate to me and
Right.
communicate with me to know what I've been through and how it is growing up and as a black kid in a majority where I grew up in Fontana, so it's not majority black anymore, so it's majority Hispanic. So, you know, I learned a little bit of their culture, but where's my culture at? So that's
Yeah.
what I think.
You want to say about the teachers?
I mean, in high school, I haven't had any. Elementary, I maybe had one black teacher in third grade or second grade. That's about it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, when we look at that, how does that make you feel being a black man in a school system that doesn't teach you black history or even how to have pride about yourself? But yet you're in these. You all are intelligent. You're on the basketball teams, the football teams, the track. You're A students, scholars, and all that. Trying to go into, and you're going into these colleges, but you never learn about who you are outside of that. And you're interacting with a lot of white students and Hispanic students and all that. But it seems like you're the forgotten piece because you're allowed to be angry because we can stereotype you then. But you guys as scholars. So who do you look up to personally? Before you even talk about who your figures of speech figures that you're talking about, but who do you look up to when you're in those situations? Because it can be a lot. Who do you look up to?
I mean, me personally, it's always been me and my mom. So, you know, she's always put that thought, that reminder in my head that I have to, you know, go out and do these things for myself because other people aren't gonna teach me about my history. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna give me the information that I need to help me better myself. So I mean, it was always kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it was like, okay, I just have to get up and do this right now. I have to get up and, you know, research for myself. I have to get up and do everything basically for myself in order to better my understanding of where I come from.
Come on, shout out to moms. Come on, mom. Yes, come on. Let's go ahead.
I'm gonna say my grandmother. My grandma grew up very religious, so that made me very religious. And she told me to look deep into the people like you've never like heard about. I remember one time she asked me, "Do you know who Sojourner Truth is?" I'm like, "No, I don't." So I studied. I did a little bit of homework on her. She was a abolitionist in the 1800s, and I'm just like, wow, I didn't learn this. My grandma went deep into make sure that we knew people for who they were and to really know your history, because our history is something that tries to be forgotten, and if a history is forgotten and not examined, it risks repeating itself.
That's right.
So we have to remember that we got to know everything about our history. So like Sojourner Truth or like Frederick Douglass, you know, I'm glad my grandma made me learn them and study them.
Come on, grandma. Yeah. Who was your influence?
I say both my parents. My mom is the first black sergeant for Long Beach Police Department.
Say that one more time so the folks can hear in the back row.
She was the first black police sergeant at Long Beach Police Department.
Come on, mom. Yes.
She's a Delta. She founded the chapter at Cal State Dominguez Hills. She was a tribe member there. My father, he's a great role model in my life. He guides me to every day to be a man. He shows me like how to carry myself, treat other people.
Right.
They've both been great inspirations and showing me like how to express myself.
Yeah.
I think third grade, my mom bought me a book about 100 black figures.
Yeah.
And that really like started my history, like black knowledge. And I started reading that book. I remember I would present one of those characters to my third grade class.
Right.
And because it was mainly white, I went to predominantly, I still do.
Yeah.
Predominantly white.
Yes.
Because in California, it's not seen a lot to have a lot of black people in the class.
Right.
So for my school that was predominantly white, I would bring that book and I would present to the whole class. And I'd present about a figure a day, just to make sure everybody else.
Yeah. So you guys educated them in your classrooms and your teachers. Yes, inspiration.
I'd have to say my grandfather. He didn't. All he had was a high school education to like I think 10th grade, but he turned out to be a very successful businessman and a property owner. And he's always told me that like, don't let people stop you in your tracks, and always push to be who you want to be. No one can tell you who you are gonna be. You know, sky's the limit. And I'd also say my mom. She always tells me you're proud of who I am, and yeah.
I love that. Shout out. So it's important that we have these conversations in our families because we cannot trust the school system or anyone else to educate us about us unless we're teaching us ourselves. So now let's talk about who you all are presenting so that we can get educated, because learning is a daily basis thing that needs to happen, and we're never too young or too old to learn. So each of you prepared something for us. So let's just go back around and talk about that. I'm gonna start with you. Come on, tell us who you talking about today.
Today I'm talking about Nina Simone. She was born in 1933, back in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a predominantly Christian household. She started doing the piano at a very young age, I think age 3. And by age 11, she was, getting really good at playing the piano and all these kind of things. And she was a really big part in the civil rights movement.
That's right.
Because she made songs like
Young, Gifted, and Black.
she made songs like Young, Gifted, and Black and Mississippi Goddamn
Yes.
after the 1936 Birmingham bombings.
Yes.
And she had, wrote about the bombings and things like that were happening and down in the South. So she was a really big part in the civil rights movement. Another voice besides the standard voice that we usually
That's
hear,
right.
MLK
That's
and
right.
stuff like that. A voice of, the soul. So
I love it. Nina Simone. Now, you young about Nina. So have you listened to Nina Simone?
I haven't personally listened like that, but my mom plays songs here and there, and I'd be like, that sounds good, this and that, and I just wanted to, get my own little.
She gives you that soul. She not cutting any corners. She telling you like as my grandmama say, like a T.I. is. Tis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, who's our next figure?
Okay, so the person I brought forth today is someone that's not black. It's a white man that was born in the 1800s. His name is John Brown, a radical American abolitionist. He was born in May 9th of 1800 and was raised in a deeply religious anti-slavery household. He believed slavery was a sin that must be destroyed. So when I brought up justice earlier, this is what justice means to me. He became involved in Bleeding, Kansas, which he killed 5 pro-slavery settlers, what known to become a massacre in today's time. But I'm thinking, millions of slaves that were killed and tortured, man, to 5 slave owners.
That's not no massacre, my brother. That's not no massacre.
That ain't no massacre. Then what's sad and tragic in his
Keep going.
in his later years, led a raid on Harper Ferry, where he seized federal arsenal in Harper Ferry, had guns, loading it up, but the Confederate Army came and they got him. So they kidnapped him, and he was tried for treason against the state of Virginia, and was the first person in the United States to be killed for treason. And now what makes me think to him is that he took justice in his own hands. He believed slavery was the worst sin you could commit. So he was saying that the black people were like his brothers, right? A story about him. When he was 12 years old, he went to a dinner with some slave owners, right? And he had a slave friend that was a boy. He was 12. The boy was around 13. So he was playing with him, having fun. Then during dinner time, it was time to have the slave boy to work, right? Giving us plates and whatnot. At the end of the slave dinner, the boy got beat badly. And that changed John Brown. From that day, he was like, nah, I'm gonna kill y'all. So respectfully, I think he and justice needs to be celebrated. I mean, he's a white man that did so much for the black community. He knew Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, worked with Frederick Douglass. I mean, he's forgotten. A lot of people don't learn about abolitionists that really took things into their own hands and was fighting for our people harder than some other people were fighting for us. So I'm gonna say good old John Brown.
Good old John Brown.
Good old John Brown.
John. You sound like you're in the Black Panther Party, getting your gun license. No, but I like how you brought that up. But as we're celebrating Black History, those who were allies to support us in the direction of our continued freedoms and voting rights or what have you that is. So thank you for bringing that point out. Yes. Come on and give us yours.
All right, so mine is not a white man, but it's a group. It's a group.
Y'all got jokes. Well, it is Black History, so we appreciate you.
It's a group of black people. It's
Okay.
Tuskegee Airmen,
Okay.
military unit.
Yes.
So, growing up, I was kind of into movies a little bit. I don't know if my mom made me watch it, but I think it was my dad because he lets me watch action movies.
Right.
But Red Tails and
Yes.
Tuskegee Airmen, that kind of was like, oh, who are these guys?
Yes.
Some cool black people. So, they were the first African American military aviators in the armed forces.
Yes.
They took practice. They trained at Tuskegee Airfield in Alabama. and they were assigned to 332nd Fighter Group and the 477th Bombardment Group.
Yes.
And they were segregated for a while. They were given hand-me-down planes from the white man. They were given poor training supplies, and they weren't given a high standard. It was maybe like an experiment for them to see, like, trying to prove that the black man was not capable of these military roles. Because even for infantry, just basic combat roles, they weren't permitted. They were mainly assigned to support roles. So, ski airmen, they did pass the test. They went through all the flying colors and everything. It was pressured by Franklin D. Roosevelt. He signed the contract to get the black men approved. And actually his wife is the one who came in. She asked to get a fly-in with one of the aviators.
Yes.
So that was really a statement in the history. But they were mainly assigned to bomber escort groups. They just had to provide escort. They weren't assigned to air-to-air combat because they were deemed unfit for that as well. Even though they passed, they did better than white fighters. So they scored even higher than white escorts in air-to-air combat. They showed that they were more protective over the bombers than the white pilots were everywhere. And the white bomber pilots even thought that the pilots were so good that they were white. So when they got back to the ground and like, oh, they were black, they still treated them with discrimination. They didn't care. Even if they saved their lives, they still treated them with this disrespect, scrutiny. And I don't know if I saved your life, I would.
Exactly. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But it shows the level of disrespect, but how those men did not allow that to change who they were, and the legacy that they have left with that. So I love that you. So what stands out most about for that when you were studying the Tuskegee Airmen that struck a chord with you?
I'd say the brotherhood. I'd say coming together. They all want the same goal. I think if you really want something, you should advocate for it. These group of men, they advocated that they wanted to fight for the country, even though they were brought here against their will.
Right.
They were treated unfairly by their grandparents. They
Right.
brought down lines of segregation. They still wanted to fight for this country that did them wrong. I feel like that should be enough dedication to show that you want to fight and die for your country. But they kept on fighting. They advocated, and they got what they wanted.
That's amazing, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Last but definitely not least, come on now.
So I have Annie Malone, a black woman, and she was born August 9th, 1869, and she was one of 11 children from her parents. Both her parents were actually former slaves. They were released, and when she was young, she was interested in chemistry and hair care products, and she invented Poro. Poro was a good alternative to use instead of soap, goose grease, and diesel grease, and they use it to straighten out black women's hair, and it had all the positives but none of the negatives of like damaging their hair. And then she also invented the pressed ironing comb. After that, she started the Poro system, which was used as like kind of like a college for black women. They learned how to do black hair care techniques, business education, and then also product manufacturing. She was also big in philanthropy.
Yes.
She donated to a lot of charities, schools, and churches. She would also pay for people's scholarships to go to schools, such as Tuskegee Institute and then Howard University.
Yes.
She was also one of the first black females to become a millionaire, and she paved the way for Madam C.J. Walker to also become very successful.
Okay, now you just started something very controversial. Because, we say that Madam C.J. Walker was the first black female millionaire. But you corrected our education. And you're saying...
it was Annie Malone.
Aha. So we had two black female millionaires roughly close around the same time period that knew each other.
Yep.
So that's wonderful. See, now I told you you're going to learn something. You're never too old to learn something. Keep going. I didn't mean to step on your toes, my brother.
That was basically towards the end. I just want to talk about that. Now she's remembered for being a great business leader, philanthropist, and she was very good at empowering women to overcome racial discrimination in the workforce.
That's beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it. Great, great. So with that, I do a little segment that I call Dare to Dream. And based upon what you've discovered and what you're learning about Black history, what is the dream and how do you want to make an impact, not just today, but in the future? Oh yeah, I'm going to challenge you now. Who's ready? Our politician is always ready. You ready?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay, so dare to dream. Here we go. What's your dream? What do you dare to dream?
My dream is for us to all be unified, you know, because we're often divided by these false choices that we think that we have, you know, that other people give us, you know. We're often divided by class, divided by race, divided by politics, we're divided by everything. So in order for us to truly become one, and not just within the Black community, but in the world as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be unified and have the same goal in mind. And that's really my goal, or my plan for the future, because right now it's really just kind of divided in all aspects of life. So in order for us to progress even more forward, I feel like our children will have to be in an environment where it's more unified and more community-based, more family-based.
I love that. Come on, that's right. You know, we are one. Hey, y'all don't know nothing about that. Frank and Beverly, baby, yes. Now, come on, politician, talk to us.
Wow, that's.
I know he stole yours. Mic drop.
But I would definitely say for us to be more knowledge, to learn more about our history. A lot of us don't know about our history. A lot of us don't.
Right.
That's why we're doing this today, to teach people about Black history and the power that we all have as young men. So I believe to just empower each other. You know, brothers be hating on each other, our haircuts, the shoes we wearing, what are those? What Jordans you got on? I believe that shouldn't matter. At least we got feet. At least we got shoes on our feet. You know.
That's right.
Somewhere to sleep at night. So I believe that just empowering us, teaching us where we came from, and having the audacity to just love one another. So
Wow.
That's what I believe.
So we got empowerment and unity. We got unity. We got empowerment through knowledge. What do they dropping some real knowledge on here. We need to wake up and listen to these young men, because this is where we're heading. Yes, sir.
I would have to talk about the education. I would say how normalizing, well, not just education in a whole, but position-wise as an executive, we're not seen as like high-ranking members of anything, to be honest. Like every business, like Nike, Apple, those are run by Black people. When you think of a CEO, you think of a white man. If I told you, here's a CEO, the first thought in your head would be a white man. So I wish in the future we could normalize having Black figures as high-ranking like people outside of sports and all these other just normally Black-driven industries. I want to expand Black people into more industries.
You're absolutely right. And you know that it was Brother Demola, who was a 35-year-old young Black male who flipped Red Lobster on his head. He found out why they were losing money. See, all y'all's going to Red Lobster, all you can eat shrimp. Y'all about to drive it under because y'all taking too much shrimp in your bags and stealing. But he was able to come back, make Red Lobster a restaurant that we like, listen to the people. So you're right, to normalize what is looked at as young executives and making sure we're there. I love that. I love it. Definitely not least in the room. Most powerful. Come on, tell them.
I have to say, just also education, learning about more Black history. I believe that we shouldn't have to have Black History Month. That Black history should be taught all day long.
Yes.
All year long.
Yes.
It should be implemented with American history, because there is no American history without Black history. It's interwoven all together. So
Yes.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, these young Black men, these rising 100, let me tell you, they have risen to the occasion and educated us about Black history on today. So listen, if you are interested in getting your young person to be a part of the Rising 100, check out our website at www.100bmie.org. Again, that's www.100bmie, Black Men Inland Empire.org for more information of how you can get your young person to be involved in the Rising 100. We are in 10 different schools, and we are mentoring nearly 500 young people. So listen, if you want to help them out, and we're teaching curriculum and things just like this, but you heard it from them, make sure you check us out. Thank you for joining us. And let's give it up for these young men right here today for the powerful knowledge that they have dropped on us. It has been amazing, and we hope you have enjoyed this. Please like and share this with all over the country. Let's make this viral and show the world what young Black men are doing. We want to also remind you about the 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire. We are all about mentorship, education, health and wellness, and economic empowerment. Join us the third Saturday of every month where we do our cleanup project and our community cleanup on 5th and Orange, downtown Riverside, where you can also see this amazing group of the Rising 100 and also talk to the men of the 100 Black Men of the Inland Empire if you're interested in joining. We are always looking for active men who want to do the work to make a difference in our communities.